Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo, and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. We off the record.
Yo, oh wait, hold on. My bad. Hey. My bad, man. My bad. Just off the record, I'm Anthony Adebayo. Scott, you there? I don't know what's happening right now. You can't hear
Now I'm
you.
here. Yeah, I was trying to come from off mute.
Oh, Lord have mercy. This man done forgot how to use his computer.
You know what? I forgot after the intro, you have to unmute yourself. I
don't know. You shouldn't have had to, but you know what? Technology, it is what it is, man. But what's going on with you?
That might be it, right? So I probably didn't have to unmute myself, and I probably muted myself.
Muted yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. Okay.
But what's good?
Nothing, man. Been a long week. Glad to get back to recording. It is a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack.
So of course we got NFL going on. It's a ton in the league, of course we're recording on a Thursday. Normally we record on Wednesdays. But Packers play the Lions. We'll talk a little bit about that later. 70 points being scored. We had upset wins. It's a lot that was happening in the league, but I know it's football season. We definitely got to start with Dame. I think it's only right.
Right.
It's only right that we start with Dame, man. So what's your thoughts, man? Dame Lillard to Milwaukee. He's a buck.
I like it. I like it. I feel bad for the Miami Heat. I wish that Portland was being a little bit more reasonable with some of the players they were trying to take from them.
Right.
They wanted basically the whole team, and I can understand why Dill didn't get done. But I mean, they're the favorites in the East. I don't know if it's enough to beat Denver, but I mean, it's gonna. I think they complement each other well. They both can stay healthy. They instantly become the team to beat in the East. What are your thoughts?
So I definitely think that they're still strong. I do want to say that I think it was a great trade for all three teams, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But I feel like they got better. The main thing that they have that I feel like they didn't have last year, because losing Drew Holiday is a big deal, but I think that they got a closer, and that was one of the things that they didn't have the last couple years. They didn't have a closer. Even with Giannis, it didn't feel like they had a closer, because you look at that Miami series, and I mean, they didn't have nobody who was going to take the last shot. The last game that they played, Grayson Allen, ironically, was the last one to take the shot. So I think now that they have a closer, they're in good shape.
Yeah, I agree. I think with Dame too, it's a lot of different options that team could do when it comes to offensively. You talk about a pick and roll and a screen with both of them. That's going to be deadly. And I mean, even think about it with like Middleton and what that looks like. Brook Lopez. There is a ton of sets that we're going to see. It's a good look for Milwaukee. I like what you said too. It is one of the rare occasions to where all three teams, in my opinion, got better. I think Phoenix got their depth. Even though they lost Ayton, they still picked up just a ton of pieces. I think Portland, they're set up for the future a little bit, not necessarily to win, but they get Ayton. I thought
I like what Portland looked like right now, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
but I thought they were going to keep Holiday though.
they're gonna get rid of him.
Oh
And
no,
I
they're
guess
going to get rid of him. They're going to get rid of them because it's going to bring them more pieces. So we got to get into that too. Right now, they're talking like Boston is kicking the tires to get them.
I mean, almost every team should be trying to get Drew. You think about it. Right now, Miami's probably like, all right, yep, here we go. Like, because you got a defensive lineup with Drew, Bam, and Jimmy. But you look at if he go to Boston, now you got somebody that's better. I personally think that Drew Holiday is better than Marcus Smart.
Oh, it's not even. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not to disrespect Marcus Smart, but no, it is an upgrade with Drew Holiday.
And so you look at that, and I like it. So I mean, I've heard Boston, I've heard Miami, I've heard the Clippers, New York, even. So I feel like Drew Holiday is a champion. He's a vet. He's smart. He's a leader. So whoever gets him, they're gonna be sitting pretty. And I think that's probably gonna change. That's probably gonna change the landscape, probably a little bit more than Dame to Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, well I think Dame to Milwaukee puts everybody on notice, right? You know what I mean? So teams are starting to look. If you're in the East Coast, there's no way around it. Milwaukee got better. So if you're the Heat and you're Boston, even the Knicks or some of those other teams, you're looking like, okay, what deal can I make to match that? If you're Boston and you get Drew Holiday, I mean, I think that now I wouldn't necessarily say the edge goes to you, but with Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Drew Holiday, I mean, that's a pretty competitive team. Same with the Heat. I mean, they get Drew Holiday. Does that edge them over Milwaukee? Not necessarily, but it does make them better than they were yesterday,
Right. And I mean, here's the thing. You can say that. We'll go back a little bit. I want to say it was 21 or 2019. Drew Holiday it might have been 2018 or 2019. One of them, I forget. But Drew Holiday was still in New Orleans. And Dame, of course, was in Portland. Dame in Portland was a 3 seed. New Orleans was the 6 seed. And Drew Holiday gave Dame the business. Right? And I want to say they swept. I want to say they swept that series, if I'm not mistaken. So
gives everybody work. I mean, he's probably the most that's a stretch. I will say that he's an underrated point guard with what he brings to the table.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so Dame, I mean, Drew going to all these places. I think is going to be something to be. You have to look at that. It's going to be crazy. So yeah. I mean, Milwaukee's the favorite right now, and I think they should be. I think right now they should be the favorite, but that could change in a matter of a week.
So you're right. So I saw as soon as the trade went through, they became the favorite. I don't know if they're still better. I don't know if that necessarily makes them better than Denver.
Right.
I know we haven't seen Phoenix, but I like what Phoenix is on paper. I mean, it's some other teams out there. I just wouldn't necessarily just run to just crown them with the actual championship. But there's one question I do have to ask you. So Jimmy Butler, he brought up tampering.
He was
I mean,
joking. He was joking.
He was joking, but
he was joking, man. There ain't nothing there's nothing to see here. If anything, people would have said Miami would have. He was joking. It ain't. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Yeah. He was just kidding. So, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be more to this trade. I guess it's technically not official until Portland is trying to get this fourth team in there to make a trade for Drew. So we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in the next few days. All right. Well, that's enough basketball that y'all gonna get for that's about all the basketball y'all gonna get for another month.
Shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to Kyrie too. He just signed his 3-year deal. And then now that's all the basketball we need to talk about.
I thought Kyrie been signed his deal.
Nah, he signed it today, I believe.
Oh. Okay. Well, whatever. All right. So NFL. Where should we start? I got a little beef.
What's your beef?
And I understand that the Cowboys, they're gonna garner the attention, right? But my beef is the fact that they would rather talk about the Cowboys losing to the Cardinals more than a team getting put 70 points. A team got put 70 points on them.
I agree. I agree with you there, right? Let's start Denver, Miami.
Yep, we did.
My God, was that a ass whoop? Ben, I mean,
at least they was in Miami. If that would have happened in Denver, heads would have had to roll.
So we gotta start here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton, we gotta hold you accountable because they tried to put this on Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team effort. When you get 70 points hung on you and you lose by 50, it is every single person on that team. Maybe except Russell Wilson. I thought he played pretty decent, but man, my good buddy Phil, I thought about him during this game. He just joined in. Before the season started, somebody dropped Denver's defense. And in fantasy, I picked them up. And, Phil, he was like, oh, man, that was a good pickup. And I was like, yeah, it's a real good pickup. And I saw them 70 points. I said, oh, shit. Like,
yeah, you want to hear something crazy? You want to hear something crazy? It's in another league. I want to say it might be the OTR league, the off the record league, our fantasy league. Do you know? And do you know Denver's defense scored more than the Cowboys defense last week in the OTR league? Because they had a defensive touchdown. I still don't understand it. I gotta look at how the step, because that don't make no sense. You get set. I think it may be a cap on how bad you can give up with points. Because I don't think anybody thought somebody would give up 70 points in a football game.
Not an NFL team. And that's why we got to go to coaching a little bit, because where are your adjustments? Like what do you? So I was listening to Sean Payton today, right? And he was telling everybody about how he needs a win.
Yeah. And
he was basically saying that they won today in practice. And I was just sitting there thinking to myself, okay,
they got better.
Who? That's what he's come to in week 3. Is that bad?
But you have to do that. You have to do that. You know, you know, it's you gotta. It starts in practice. It starts in practice. What else is he supposed to say? They haven't played a game yet.
So let's get to it. Let's talk about the toilet bowl for a second, right? The Bears and the Broncos. Who do you have in that game?
You know, the funny thing is, I am really intrigued for this game. I think this game. I personally feel like this is going to be one of the best games of the weekend. I really do, because neither one of these teams want to go 0-4. Neither one of these teams want to look any worse than they looked in week 3. But I'm gonna go Denver. I want to say Denver's at home, but I'm gonna go Denver 24-20. A barn burner. It's gonna be a barn burner.
Yeah, I'm going Denver too.
What's the score?
It's gonna be 27-24. It's gonna be close.
Okay, that's a listen, 24-20 and 27-20. Watch, you know the score is probably gonna end up being like 45-42 or something like that. I'm telling you, that game, listen, mark my words. What time is it? 7:47. Mark my words. Denver, Chicago is gonna be a better game than Miami, Buffalo.
So let me ask you this, right?
Stamp it.
This is a legitimate question. I'm not trying to be funny. Who's in the worst situation, the Bears or the Broncos?
Who's in a worse situation?
Yeah, we both picked the Broncos, but I think I'm a little scared for the Broncos.
I say this. I feel like the Broncos are the more desperate team. And because I think the Broncos have more to lose than the Bears.
Absolutely.
Because you got the Broncos, you got what's his name? Russell Wilson, who has this huge contract. Then you got Sean Payton, who did all that talk. First of all the things that's happened to Sean Payton is karma. It is karma because, I mean, one thing you don't do as a coach is criticize another coach for that you're replacing, especially one that you're replacing. And you know, Nathaniel Hackett never gave up 70 points. Nathaniel Hackett actually, in the first 3 games, Nathaniel Hackett had a win, and he didn't stink as bad in the second half. They just couldn't score. You know, but their defense was still playing up to par. They desperate. Right now, the Broncos are desperate. And if they lose to the Bears, oof.
If they lose to the Bears, yeah. And I mean, like I said, I don't think they will lose to the Bears, but you're right. It's a lot of expectations with the Broncos. I mean, people expected the Broncos to be in the playoffs. Or to at least be in the hunt. You know, the Bears, I mean, it was some bold predictions that they may make the playoffs, but we understand where they are, right? They've got to figure it out with their quarterback. They're not quite sure what their identity is. They've got some pieces that really haven't gelled. So it's understandable that they're where they are. If you would have told me that the Broncos would be 0-3, I would have laughed. I would not have thought they would have been 0-3.
Yeah, I would have thought they beat the Raiders. But,
oh yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, so let's go to a game that I actually was supposed to go to, but I'm not. The Cowboys and the Patriots. I think it's just a regular game. I don't look at it no other way. But you know, you got Zeke coming back to Dallas. I think that's going to be the most interesting part. The Cowboys are getting their linemen. They're getting 2 of the 3 linemen that were out last week. And I think that game was a one-off. I mean, shoot, I don't even remember the last time we've actually won in Arizona. I ain't making no excuses. It is what it is. But I got the Cowboys winning that game easily. Yep, I said it easily. Even
Yeah,
on the
so I have the Cowboys too, but we better hope to God that the Cowboys team that showed up against the Cardinals doesn't show up. I'm not going to be too tough on the Cowboys because NFL is going to lose some games. Like you can't really say like, oh, okay, they lost a game, they suck, or they lost to the Cardinals. Like we all expect the Cardinals not to be good, but
why?
Yeah, exactly. You look at the Giants, right? They the Cardinals almost beat the Giants, but
Listen,
then you look at Dallas. Dallas put 40 points on the Giants. So it's football is any given Sunday. People can make the adjustments.
Let me tell you. The Cardinals has had a fourth quarter lead in all 3 games this season. So, I mean, it ain't like they've been playing bad football. They just haven't been able to close. I feel like it was a game. It was what it was, and the Cowboys lost. It is I don't like
Loss.
it was a loss. People acting like they lost to USC or Oregon or Michigan or like a college team or something. They lost to another professional team.
I will say this though. It was not a bad loss in the sense that it was a blowout, but some issues that seem to reoccur did reoccur during that game. Now I want to give
what are the issues? What are the issues? I want to hear these
team one off. We'll give you the opportunity. We'll give the Cowboys the opportunity to self-correct.
No, what were the issues though? I want to hear this.
So, just my standpoint, they don't look like I don't want to say want it, but you don't see that taking it over type deal. Like you're gonna face it. You're gonna face adversity, and I felt like that they folded in that adversity during that game. Now again, it's one game. They've got the rest of the season. Every team's gonna go through it, but it wasn't what my expectations of the Cowboys for the season are.
Dog, they here's the thing.
I mean, they were 1 for 6 in the red zone.
I knew you was gonna bring that up. I knew you was gonna bring that up. But before you get there, let me just say one thing. I've seen it in Little League. I've seen it in high school, college, professional, every rank, where a team is they overlook their opponent, right? Anybody and their grandmother knows that the Cowboys are a better team than the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to finish with a better record. They're a better team top to bottom than the Cardinals. Did they play down to their competition or overlook Arizona and then ended up getting punched in the mouth? Yep. That's exactly what happened. Nothing more, nothing less. And I know Michael Parsons said it, but it happens. Now let me just get something out the way because I knew he was gonna bring the red zone stuff up. The previous 2 games they were 10 for 10 in the red zone, right?
Yeah, and that's why that's why I'm giving them that one off to where that was it was a bad game and it was ugly to watch. I mean, it was an ugly game. Now they'll be able to redeem themselves against the Patriots. I personally don't think the Patriots are that good. So I think that they'll be able to take care of the Patriots, and you can go from there. I think that you guys' defense. I mean, you're going to shut Mac Jones down. He's not going to do anything.
All right, so I'm only doing this because we normally wouldn't even talk about this team. So I'm only doing this just because. So Buffalo came into the nation's capital to play. Well, they really came to Maryland, but nonetheless, they came to play Washington, and they bludgeoned. They literally beat Washington up. I mean, honestly, I thought we were going to see the second shutout of the season, but I feel like Buffalo felt sorry for him and let him get into field goal range to get bludgeoned. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it was the Bills. Again, we're talking about professional athletes here. We're not talking about college. We're not talking about the SEC versus the MEAC. We're talking about NFL. We're talking about AFC versus NFC. And to lose 37-3 at home, because we can go back, right? And I should pull it up because it was people in the audience talking about Sam Howell this, Sam Howell that, Sam Howell for MVP. Sam Howell is undefeated as a starting quarterback. What else did we hear? We heard all of it, right? And they lost. And they lost. So it's funny. It's funny that you could like the Washington Commanders and have something to say about Dallas. You lost. At the end of the day, you lost. So there's nothing else to say.
No, it was ugly, and
so let me ask you this, Scott. Would you rather lose, no matter the opponent? Would you rather lose 37-3 or 16-28?
Oh yeah, I mean that's no brainer. He got to go 16-28. I mean,
right.
yeah, you can't really.
37-3, you ain't have a shot.
So I will say this though, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I don't think people really believe that the Commanders are that great. I think the Washington fan base is rejuvenated, but I think like when they lose,
they got that Magic Johnson.
Yeah, they got Magic Johnson. They got rid of Dan Snyder. They got some pieces on their team that they're in the work. So I think like if they lose, people are just kind of like, all right, it's part of the growing pains. With Dallas, it's expectations of possibly Super Bowl, definitely a deep run in the playoffs. So it's going to be critiqued a lot differently.
Yeah, so ultimately saying nobody really cares about Washington, so why even talk about them?
No, I think we have to talk about them. Like we'll talk, and we definitely have to talk about them. But no, I think it just all goes down to expectations. If people expect your team to be good, then they're gonna critique you a lot.
Yeah. Nonetheless, all right. So I guess it's time to get into that segment that you do where you say somebody did something stupid. Is the winner of the week, Tom?
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
Scott?
It's the mute button. It's the mute. It's the mute button. It didn't. So I tried not to press the button this time, hoping that it was going to come off mute, and it didn't. All right. Well, definitely. All right. So my winner of the week this week is, I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a Phillies fan that brought an emotional support alligator. Yeah. Emotional support alligator to the game.
Oh God.
I just when I heard this, I was just like, what? First and foremost, what is an emotional support alligator?
There's a song. Oh wait. Now go ahead.
Yeah, I was baffled that somebody would do that.
Yo, this
And
dude
Curtis,
really.
we're gonna talk about that next too.
You said what?
Now, Curtis put out there that Colin Kaepernick should have been the winner of the week. We definitely have to talk about that.
We'll talk about it. He don't deserve to be winner of the week though.
Nah, he don't deserve to be.
So okay. Did he have a muzzle on said alligator?
Let me see this picture. Yes. He had a muzzle on him.
He had a
still like why would you think that you're going to be able to take an alligator to a baseball game?
Yeah. So I'm looking it up. This is hey man. Because that was his Gatorade. You see what I did there? Boom! That was his Gatorade.
I'm shocked and appalled.
Gatorade. Hold on now. That's a good one. Gatorade. That aid him. That was his support. Gatorade. Wow. You know what? I deserve horns. Hold on. I deserve Gatorade. Come on now. No? Okay, whatever. So yeah, that's actually absolutely ridiculous. That is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I think that's the most ridiculous thing.
It is absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, I don't even like. So that's weird. That's very weird. And as someone, I don't even know what I would do if I was that close to an alligator. That's that's crazy. So yeah, we can move on from that because that's absurd. So one thing before we move on. I almost gave winner of the week to Shannon Sharp, because he had the nerve to be talking about the Cowboys, but he is a former Bronco, right? We all know him as a Denver Bronco. He also played for the Baltimore Ravens, right? And he went to college at HBCU. He went to Savannah State. The thing about that is all three of them damn teams lost. All three of them lost. All three. The Savannah State, Baltimore Ravens, and the Denver Broncos. And he had the nerve and the Denver Broncos got 70 points put on them. And he had the nerve to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Really? Really?
I got a troll. He did.
Hey, Scott, don't even respond to him, yo.
No.
I'm gonna hold it down, man. I'm gonna hold it down.
Nah, it's all good. He gonna be sitting next to me.
So Kaepernick. So let's talk about this Kaepernick situation. So the Jets are going through a quarterback kerfuffle. They're struggling right now, quarterback, since Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and so I blame J. Cole here. All right, I blame J. Cole because Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to the GM. What in the world? So he wrote a letter to the GM of the New York Jets, right? And I guess he just wanted it to go to the GM, and then next thing you know, J. Cole hyped them up to say, "Yo, the world needs to see this. The world needs to hear about this. Everybody needs to know that you're still working out and you want a shot." And I disagree. I think that he should have sent it. And possibly had meetings in private with that. and not made this a story. But he made it a story, and I figure that it's just gonna make people laugh at Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it did make me laugh. So right after he wrote his letter, I checked my email, and the Jets was trying to sign me to the practice squad too.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's bad, man. And that's my Super Bowl pick.
You jinxed him.
I jinxed them, and I want to tell you, this game against the Chiefs, they have Taylor Swift coming.
Is she coming?
Yeah,
she's gonna be in the building.
She's gonna be in the building.
Is Taylor Swift more popular than Beyonce? Answer wisely, Scott Smith.
I would say no, but they're in the same stratosphere. Just the mere fact that she is going to be in the stadium, the tickets jump from $75 to $300 for the cheapest ticket. So what that means is it's going to be a lot of coverage on this game. And Zach Wilson, I mean, right now, he is playing terrible football. And I can't put it all on him. Some of it is on his offensive coordinator as well, some of the coaches. But if he does not show something in this game, we're not going to see Zach Wilson for much longer.
They signed Trevor Siemian.
We'll see Trevor Siemian. We might see. I heard that they tried to get Phillip Rivers to stop coaching this high school team. I mean, they've went out there and tried to get a lot of people.
So here's the thing. With Cap, I feel like it's an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity, and he took advantage of his opportunity. Now, here's the thing. What do the Jets have to lose? If they sign Colin Kaepernick, right? What do they have to lose? Now, if I was a GM, I probably wouldn't sign a quarterback that hasn't been in the league for 7 years. Here's a name that I haven't really seen thrown around, but I was thinking about it. What about Ryan Tannehill? He got an expiring contract. What you think?
You know my thoughts on Ryan Tannehill.
I get that, but will he be an upgrade from Zach Wilson? I would think so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, I'd be lying to say that he wouldn't be an upgrade. I mean, he's an upgrade from Trevor Siemian. I mean, it's a bad situation. And I want to tell you, if Zach Wilson, he can't figure it out, Marcus is right. He's going to be out the league.
But here's the thing. I think Zach Wilson is going to shock the world this weekend.
He has no choice. I mean, he's playing because right now his teammates are saying all the right things, right? They're backing him up. They're giving him that boost of confidence that he needs. But the reality is he's basically the same Zach Wilson as we saw last year. So every offensive coordinator is on them to try to pull their quarterback strengths out. I can't tell you what Zach Wilson is good at. Where is Zach Wilson good at?
So here's the thing. Hold on. I think hold on, Marcus. Hold on. Wait till after I get this point across, right? So I watched that game, well, some of it last week, right? And I saw plays where he made some throws, and I'm like, well, damn, why don't he do that more often? And then I saw some plays where, first of all, the Jets line is one of the worst in the league. The Jets have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. So we got to remember when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. When he got hurt, there was pressure in his face when he got hurt. There was pressure. And that was the fourth play of the game. So I feel like, or was it the third? Whatever it was, it don't matter. I do feel like it shouldn't all be on Zach Wilson, right? Let's give him a shot. Because right now, you know what we sound like? We sound like what the people were sounding like when Geno Smith was with the Jets. You know, and look at him now. He's still in the league and he's still thriving. Well, he's thriving now. But when he was in New York, both times, you know, he didn't look great. And that could have been a culture thing. You know, let's see what happens if now he's probably going to throw for 178 yards, you know, and a touchdown. But we'll see. We'll see. I think that if they take the I kind of agree with what Dan Orlovsky said earlier today about just take the training wheels off and just let the kid play. Just let him play. If he turns
I will agree with that. I will agree with that.
Just let him play. Like he's so scared to make a mistake that he's not playing football. You know, when it was down, I think they was down 10 or whatever they was down or 11, and they were trying to come back before they scored that touchdown. He looked like a competent quarterback, you know, but they don't really necessarily let him do what he needs to do. They got all these restraints on him, and he can't really play football.
So that's where I'm going to defer back to the offensive coordinator. They've got to figure out how to pull the strengths and whatever he does well. All right, so we got to talk about this. Buffalo, Miami. Who you got in that game?
Games in Buffalo, right? Whoa. Games in Buffalo. My bad, y'all. Just, you know, if you would have asked me this 6-7 hours ago, I would have said Buffalo, right? But then we got a mutual friend who likes Buffalo named Mike. We're gonna have Mike on the show eventually. We'll probably have him on the show when Dallas plays Buffalo. But and he came talking greasy to me today. You know, I'll never forget about no bets. Don't act like I forget bets. And so now I got Miami winning that game by 2 scores. And not only because of you know, the bet, right? But I have a feeling that the Buffalo secondary is gonna have a tough time containing Tyreek Hill, and then Jalen Waddle's coming back. Mostert is you know, you got a Cheney, who I don't think he's gonna have as big of a game as he had last week. I don't even think he's gonna get a third of the points that he scored last week. But he's still a threat. So yeah, I got Miami winning that game 28-17.
Okay.
In Buffalo.
I also have Miami win that game. I think right now, I take my unbiased cap off. Miami looks like the best team in football right now. Will they sustain that over the course of the season? That remains to be seen. But there's not a team that throws with ease and has the running game that they have. And I think it's a tall order for any team in the NFL to go up against Miami right now. Now, like I said, I don't know if the X factor is Tua. I don't believe Tua finished either game against Buffalo last year. And this team is going to go with his health. If he
finished the first game against Buffalo last year.
Okay, so it was the second game now. Yeah, if he goes down, then that shakes everything up and changes everything. But right now, based off of what they've done in Denver and what I've seen them do through the course of this year, they're the team to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, Tua right now is on pace to win MVP. I think if you had to choose an MVP right now, I think Tua is the guy that's probably gonna win MVP right now.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not close, but from where I'm standing, I mean, he's playing lights out, and the Dolphins are playing lights out. So who are you the most disappointed in? I know we talked about the Bears and the Broncos, but there's some other teams that have been stinking it up too. That I'm just kind of like,
Who? It's a really good question.
Chargers have to be somewhere in there.
What's the Chargers record? 1-2.
I believe they're 1-2.
Yeah, they're 1-2, and they should be 0-3. That's a good one. So that's a good one. I mean, all they're gonna do is give Kellen Moore the head coaching job. They're gonna fire Brandon Staley, and they're gonna give Kellen Moore the.
This man is gonna continue to troll me.
By the way, that's Scott's team name in the NBK league. That's
we're ground zero. Nah.
No, that's me actually. I'm straight trash, homie. But anyway, I think that is a good team to look at as a disappointment. Brandon Staley, I don't know what it is, man, but you know what we call him? Can't get right. That's exactly what he screws everything up. And sometimes he gets saved. All right, so here's the thing. You're on your own 20, 24 or 28 yard line. It's fourth down. In overtime, if I'm not mistaken. And so he said he went with analytics to go for it. And I think the analytics said if you get the first down, it's like 89% chance you're gonna win. But if you punt the ball, it's an 80% chance you're gonna win. And so he felt that those 9% was enough to almost cost his team the game. I think most coaches are going to punt that ball and let the defense do what they do, even though he's a defensive guy, by the way, and their defense stinks. But he, unfortunately, there's way too many people, there's way too much noise on TV about him and his job. And I think ultimately that's going to cost him his job.
Okay. Now that makes sense. All right. So we got to talk about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got the Ravens and the Browns.
Right.
The Browns.
What the old Browns and the new Browns, but go ahead.
Right. I see what you did there. I like what you did there. The Browns defense has been playing lights out.
Browns are going to win this game.
Yeah. So the Ravens have a lot of injuries. I believe they've got like 11 people hurt. Lamar Jackson had a decent game last week from a fantasy perspective, but he doesn't look comfortable in the offense that they're running. It's just my outlook on it. Now, can he be a pocket passer? Absolutely. Does he need to necessarily go back to running with the ball and doing all that? Probably not. But I don't see them beating the Browns.
Where's the game at?
Good question.
I'll look it up.
So Deshaun Watson, I've been critical of him. You not so much because you're a Browns fan as well.
Oh my God.
But I gotta admit, he played his best game as a Brown.
He looked damn good.
He looked good.
No, he looked damn good. He was letting that ball fly.
Whoa, pause. You got to control yourself, man. We're on the air. But anyway, we called it last week. We said, hey, you know, with Chubb out, it gives him the opportunity to step up and to showcase the player they is. Phil's got Ravens 21-17.
Homer pick.
See.
Look, man, they just lost to the Indianapolis Colts, who were actually in Baltimore before the Ravens, before the Browns. So you see how it all ties together. Nonetheless,
But that Colts game, that Colts defense is a lot better than people think.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think that Deshaun Watson continues his hot streak. And what's going to end up happening is everybody going to say, uh-oh, because I think Amari Cooper had 2 touchdowns last week. If you start getting that connection going, AFC North better watch out, because remember I said that I think that all 4 teams could go to the playoffs. Now I didn't say they were going to go to the playoffs, but I said if there's a division where all 4 teams go to the play, this is easily the toughest division in the league. It's easily the toughest division in the league, and it's gonna be crazy, because I think the Browns are 2-1, the Ravens are 2-1, the Steelers are 2-1, and the Bengals are 1-2. They about to be 2-2 though, because Burrow's back, baby.
That's what I was about to ask you, though. Is it safe to put Burrow back in the lineup?
Yes.
Who's playing this week? Are you playing Burrow or are you playing Dak?
Why? Who I play? Who's my opponent? Marcus is my opponent. I don't know. I might play both of them. I'm the commish, so I might just in the middle of the game override the system and put my quarterback, change my quarterbacks so they both could play.
Oh, I didn't know you was playing Marcus. I thought you was playing the Saints.
He got about 6 Saints players on his team.
He got all the Saints, every single Saint.
So the Bengals are playing in Tennessee. The Cowboys are home against the Patriots. So I want everybody out there. I need y'all help. Who should I play? Burrow against the Titans, or Dak against the Patriots? But nonetheless, a lot of them gonna comment, and I don't trust them. But whatever. I don't know who I'm gonna play, but Burrow should be playing. He's gonna play, and whatever they do, throw it to Jamar Chase. Like, that's all you have to do. Throw it to Jamar Chase. Don't do anything, but throw it to Jamar Chase. That's it. That's all. Throw it to Jamar Chase.
All right. So I got a question before we get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You got Colorado, USC.
Right.
You going? Is it going to be a worse game than the Oregon Colorado?
Man. No. I think USC is probably going to win. I don't even know what the spread is on that game, but USC is probably going to win. But Colorado's not going to lay 2 eggs in a row. I don't think. I know the line is the line, but shoot, USC struggled against Arizona State, and I think that Colorado is a better team than Arizona State. So,
oh, it's a good question.
Oh my God! Why?
Good question.
I mean, They're on the same level, honestly. First of all, you don't have to I saw it, and everybody saw it. I could take it down too.
Well,
And
it's a fair question.
I think that they're on the same level. I think that they're both all pros, and they're on the same level.
So that's a really tough question, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you think they're on the same level?
What?
Yeah, so you're right? And
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that if CeeDee Lamb played in Cincinnati, would he be as successful as Jamar Chase?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not absolutely,
Absolutely.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think you got a point. It's quarterback play.
Most people now are gonna take Jamar Chase over CeeDee Lamb because CeeDee Lamb plays for the Cowboys.
No, I would say that statistically, people are looking at the numbers that he puts up. But if CeeDee Lamb played with Joe Burrow, who knows what he could do?
You trying to say about Dak, dog?
Dak is not as good a quarterback as Joe Burrow.
Okay.
I mean, you can put your fan. I mean,
I'm not. I'm not. I mean, so who's better, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen? I just want to hear this.
I personally like Joe Burrow better, but Josh Allen, I think a lot of people say he's overrated, but if you take him off that Buffalo team,
they stink. I know.
They stink. He does a lot for that team. I like Josh Allen. Now, I think he's personally better than Dak too.
I don't.
I know you don't, but I
honestly, and this is my personal opinion. I think aside from him running the ball, because Dak doesn't run the ball anymore ever since he got hurt. But aside from running the ball, he don't. What does he do better than Dak?
I think if you put Dak on that Buffalo team, you've got a 500 team at best.
You got a 500. You got a 500. You got a 500 team in Buffalo right now. So what you saying?
Yeah, but he's more than likely going to figure out how to get them to the playoffs.
So why wouldn't Dak? Dak's been in the playoffs more than he hasn't.
I don't know. I take Josh.
I mean, I'm just saying. Dak. Listen, how many times has Dak missed the playoffs? He missed it.
Maybe
he's been in the league 7 years, and he probably missed it twice. And one of those seasons, he was out for the season.
Fair enough. I still like Josh Allen more than I like Dak.
I mean, that's fine, but you can't say that he just. I think people put him on a pedestal because he was a first-round draft pick. I mean, but we'll see. They got to go. They got to face off this season. So,
definitely. Baker Mayfield or Kirk Cousins? I'm going with Kirk.
No one cares. No one cares. Who cares? Baker Mayfield. You got C-list quarterbacks. This man, I'm sick of Phil, yo.
Well, we definitely got to get ready for Thursday night football. So.
Well, this game's going on right now. Green Bay's up 3-0. So get your parlays in. Hey, real quick before we get out of here, I'm gonna read this parlay, and I want the people to tell me if you like it or not, or if pump it or dump it. So I got Jared Goff under 255.5, Jordan Love under 234.5 passing, Jordan Love over 3.5 rushing attempts, so that's 4 rushing attempts. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 71.5 yards receiving, Jaden Reed over 38.5 yards receiving, and Christian Watson over 40.5 yards receiving.
That's a good parlay. And
I boosted that joint. But yeah, man, let's get up out of here. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, man. Thanks, Scotty. I appreciate that, man. You know,
I hope you make some money off that, man.
Hey, Phil hating. He hating. He hating. Man, he a hater. He a hater. Hi, hater. I'm saying, hey, and he's gonna call me in a little bit as soon as we go off the air, and I may or may not answer his phone call. All right, but let's get up out of here, man. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B.
Oh, real quick before we go, I almost pressed the button. So look out. We got a project coming. It's called Homecoming Season. We're gonna cover some of the HBCU homecomings. Show y'all how it's done, how it looks at HBCU homecomings for some of y'all that ain't never been to HBCU homecoming, like Phil. I'm joking. I don't know if he's been to an HBCU homecoming. But yeah, so it should be pretty interesting. But all right, let's get up out of here. Off the Record. We out. See ya. Sayonara. Goodbye. Toodaloo. Peace.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo. And the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.